So I recently engraved on some brass tags with the xTool F2 Ultra UV. And here is the material test. I'll show that closer in a photo. And here is the final result. And that's just with one pass. But I was thinking I can probably do a better job with the F1 Ultra on the fiber side. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to try it. We'll compare the two and see which one does the best job. I'm pretty sure it's this one. All right, let's get at it. All right, so we got the brass tag here. It's 0.5 millimeters thick. I've got it positioned toward the rear of the laser bed, and that's so the beam will come down at an angle and bounce off at an angle, and it'll reduce the potential damage to the lens. And I got that tip from Cut That Out Laser, and I did thank them on my last video. I'm thanking them again. It's a great tip. Typically, I've come closer to the center, and I could have damaged my lens. So here I've got an old HEPA filter. It just helps pick up some of the extra dust. With the fiber, you have a little more debris, but I use it on both the F1 and the F2 Ultra UV, and it just helps pick up some of that extra stuff that comes off. All right, so we're going to jump into xTool Studio, set up a material test. We'll run that, and then we'll put some text on another tag and see how that turns out. Okay, we're in xTool Studio, and we're using the xTool F1 Ultra laser, and we're going to use the fiber side. Now, typically when I do a material test, I'll select a base material first, but that hadn't worked out too good for me with the fiber side of the F1 Ultra. But if you were going to pick a base material, you could just go to unknown material, select, you go to metal and brass, and then the closest one to this tag would be here. And you'd select it, apply it, and then go from there. But we're going to go rogue and just make our own settings. So we're going to grab a rectangle, hold shift, draw out a perfect square, or whatever shape you would like. Select Engrave, go down and make sure blue light is switched to fiber IR. Then you can go to applications, select material test. We can hit the drop down, select metal. This gives us the effect here on stainless steel and silver, but we don't want that, so we're just going to close it. And for our own settings, we're going to leave the max power at 100. We're going to make the minimum 60. And for speed, we'll go a max of 25 and a minimum of 5. And we're going to set the columns and rows both to 5, and this should give us some nice even numbers to work with. That looks good. We'll leave the spacing at 2, and we will click Done. Now, since we're working with a small area, this tag, with it selected, we can go up top and ungroup, and then we can select some of this text and just delete it. We know speed is on the left, power is on the bottom, and that'll give us the opportunity to put more on the area we're working with. Then you can select your numbers, because right now they're set for score. You want to set them for Engrave. You want to be sure to set them for fiber, and then give them speed and power. I'm just going to leave it at 100, make it 100, and set a speed for 20, and let that work, hopefully. We select this one, do the same thing. It's already set for fiber IR on score, but we're going to change it to Engrave, and you can see it switches to blue light. We're going to make it fiber IR, and also make it a power of 100 and a speed of 20. All right, and then you want to check, once you click away, you can see the individual squares. Just make sure it's fiber IR. And then, of course, it'll go through the different settings for each square. All right, we're going to select it, resize it, and get as much of it on this tag as possible. And that should do it. We'll hit a frame to make sure. It's off a little bit. So with the frame on, you can select it, hold Control, and use your arrow keys to move it slightly. And that looks a whole lot better. Okay, we'll turn the frame off, select, and then we're going to process this and see what we get. All right, let's do it. All right, we're going to try this with the cover open because I keep getting a flame warning with the cover closed, and there's no flame. Okay, we had to jump back into xTool Studio because I keep getting a flame warning. It happened 3 times. There is no flame, and it is happening right here. So it starts off, it does this speed of 25 all the way with a power of 60 through 100 is fine. Then it drops down to a speed of 20 and a power of 100. It just bombs out every time. So we got to start over, adjust these, this power and speed. And please just fast forward as much as you need to. But if you can watch other people make mistakes and save yourself some heartache, that's a pretty good deal. So we're going to grab a rectangle again, shift to make a square. I'll try to do this a little faster. Set to Engrave, change blue light to IR, applications, material test, change user defined to metal, get rid of this. And for power, we're going to leave the max at 100 and make the min 50. For speed, we're going to make the max 50 and the min 25. And then we're going to set columns and rows to 5 and click OK. So again, while it's selected, we're going to go up to Ungroup. We're going to get rid of some of this text. We're going to grab our numbers and set them to Engrave and IR. And we will make them 100. And I think we'll make them 30 this time. Could be that's what's making it bomb out, and leave it at a pass of 1. All right, we'll do the same thing down here. Engrave, blue light to fiber, 100 and 30. Looks like we're good on fiber here. So we're going to select it, resize it. I want this to work. I don't want you to think I can't make it work. Surely we can. Okay, we'll do a quick frame. Looks pretty good. Okay, we'll run this and see what we get. All right, let's see what we got. At least we made some progress. Hope that ain't too hot. That is what we've got. I'll pop up a photo to make it a little more clear. So I'll select one of these. We'll put some text on the back side, and then we will save it as a custom material. All right, so the lower speeds is what was kicking off that fire warning. We're going to go with a speed of 40 and a power of 100. I think that'll give us the best. So we want to get rid of this. And we'll grab the text tool. And we'll just do that. Set it to engrave. Make it small enough to go on there. And make sure we set that to fiber. Power 100. Speed 40. And we'll leave one pass and lines per centimeter at 100. Okay, we'll make this a little larger. Do a frame. That looks pretty good. Okay, let's run this and see what we get. Okay, let's see what we got. That looks pretty good. There we go. I'll pop up a photo. You can get a good look at it. So we'll jump back into xTool Studio and we will save this as a custom material. So that turned out pretty good. We're going to save this as a custom material. So the first thing you need to do is save your project. And then we'll be able to pull those settings from the project. So once you save it, just click on Unknown Material. Go to My Materials. Click on Add Material. Add New. And up top, click Import from File. Maybe. There we go. And then we can find the file, I hope. And it'll pull those settings in. Click Confirm. And then you see all the settings over here. Then you can give it a name. And I like to put the laser, because when you pull up your materials, no matter which laser you're on, they're all there. So you want to mark it so you can remember which one. You can add a photo. I got one here somewhere. You can crop it if needed. Click Confirm. Thickness was 0.5 millimeter. You can add other characteristics. So it's not a flammable material, but I did keep getting a flame warning. So I'm just going to put that in there to remind me. And it was those lower speeds that was causing that. So you can add in other characteristics, where you purchased it from, anything that'll help you out when you do this again. Click Save. And once you save it, I've got the one down here for the F2 Ultra UV as well. You can see, and I'll pull up a comparison photo at the end here. Once you save it, you can edit it here. Just select, make any adjustments you need to, and then resave it. If you want to delete it, select it, go up top to Material Management. You can select it here and delete it here. Well, that about wraps it up. Here's the comparison I promised between the F1 Ultra and the F2 Ultra UV with the same job. And it's pretty clear that the F1 Ultra on the fiber side is the better choice. The video I made for the F2 Ultra UV, I'll pop it up right here in the top. You can check it out if you like. So maybe this gave you some base settings to work with. And if you have questions, I'm certainly glad to answer them, or at least I'll try to. I really appreciate you folks watching. Just check back often for new videos. Take care, and we'll see y'all next time. Thank you.